Are we going to bring on Crypto World after?
And we are live.
Hello. Welcome to the Blockchain Dynamics podcast. This is episode 3. I'm here. I'm Brandon Doge.
And I am Jukely.
Yeah, and that's in the background you hear the Crypto World. We're about to introduce him too.
Yep, say hi again, Crypto World.
Hey, y'all.
We're thrilled to have him. You can check out his website, The Crypto World. What's the URL on that, Juke?
That's it, thecryptoworld.com.
Nice. Well,
That's .org.
Oh, .org, I'm sorry.
Yep, that's all right.
And he's got some great tutorials on some coin stuff over there, and also has a Slack channel that has a lot of good people in it, and a Blockchain Dynamics Radio sub-channel in that Slack, so check it out.
And we also have with us today the founder of Cbit, William Martins.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
So,
no problem.
We're going to start off with Cbit today, so if you just kind of want to give our listeners like the short pitch on Cbit here.
Well, CBIT is a new coin. It was launched on February 23rd. It is a rather unique new coin. It's an exact clone of Bitcoin 0.12. There hasn't been a clone, a clone of Bitcoin in a long time.
Okay.
It's rather difficult to clone Bitcoin. And
Interesting.
you will hear a lot of people say that, it's just cut and paste. No problem. Well, it's not as easy as you think it is.
Sure, yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's not easy anyway. I wouldn't know where to start.
Well, the dirty little secret in the cloning business is when you buy these clones and they hand it to you 48 hours later,
Yep.
what they're really cloning is the 2009 version of Bitcoin.
That doesn't surprise me.
And they're handing you basically a piece of junk. It has none of the patches, fixes, the virus fixes or anything in it. So when you go to clone Bitcoin 0.12, you've got all the new security features, all the new everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When you go and change any of the base parameters, you've got layer upon layer upon layer of new coding that is all referencing back that initial base parameter. So when you change any of it, like the block size or the number of coins,
Yep.
it throws up all over.
Interesting.
So you've got to go back through all of the coding, every layer, and find out everywhere that it doesn't like it.
Nice.
Did you find that with the way that hash power has changed, did you have to do any changes on the mining side to accommodate for the fact that everyone kind of right out of the gate you were going to have these huge ASICs on it all the time?
Well, that's where we were surprised. We weren't ready for that. When we launched, we really didn't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to have a nice, quiet launch and build the difficulty level slowly to make up for the power of the computers. Because, when Bitcoin was first launched, the power of the computers was not great.
Right.
Yeah.
And today, to launch the Bitcoin source code, it was like going from 0 to warp speed. And, you just kind of throw yourself against the back wall of the ship. And so we thought, okay, we'll start with one little machine, and then add a second one, and over a week or two, slowly bring the source code up to difficulty. And the mistake we made was we started a forum page on Bitcoin. I mean, on Bitcoin Talk.
Right.
And at the same moment that we launched, and we thought, okay, how many people will notice?
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Yeah, usually it turns out, and as I'm one of those people who used to kind of watch out for launches like that and be like, oh, this has a old retargeting algorithm, I'm going to put 100 terahash on it and see what happens, you know.
Well, that's what happened, and we put our 2 or 3 little machines on it, our ant miners,
Yeah.
and the first 2 or 3, 4 minutes, everything was going along fine, and then all of a sudden, 200 terabytes dropped like a nuclear explosion onto our source code.
Right.
And coins just started, it was like ticking, 20, 30 blocks a second. And we're sitting there trying to find the plug. Pull the plug! What the hell is happening here?
Nice.
And, in about 2 hours, the difficulty went from 20 to 7 million, 8 million, 10 million, 15 million, and everything calmed down.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, we went to 8, 9 million coins.
Right.
And finally it calmed down.
What's the difficulty right now? Do you know?
We're at about 21 million.
Nice. That's good.
And we only went to about 14 million coins, which is not bad. There's 210 million coins, so that's fine. We're at 3 weeks into it. We're at 7% of the coins, so we're happy.
Nice, yeah, and you just made it, just got onto Cryptopia today or yesterday?
Yeah, today we just started Cryptopia, and considering, that we got 14 million coins, we basically traded less than 1% of the coins came out of our people's hands.
And if you think about 14 million coins, the top bid right now is 1,000, so that's 140 Bitcoin market cap out of the gate. Going by that bid, obviously you can't just sell that many at once, but that's a pretty strong starting position for a new altcoin.
Yeah, considering 1% of the coins is all that were sold, so there wasn't a mad dash for the exits.
Yep, yeah, that's always good to see. I know I haven't used Cryptopia too much, but they do have a really solid site.
And the average price was about a half a penny to a penny today, which is pretty good. And not only that, we were the top coin on Cryptopia today.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we're about 4.5 times larger than the next nearest coin.
Awesome. Well,
So-
would you be able to elaborate on the Helix project portion?
Yeah, that's a project for down the road. We're going to need some help on that.
Okay.
That's an idea we've had. We've kind of been developing it since last summer. We believe that the real idea we need to go toward is, the DNA is really the holder of power, like in the human being. It
Yeah.
is really where the information can really be stored. That's where the real power is. And we believe that something like CBIT in Bitcoin, and this is why we have Bitcoin, or CBIT is the same code as Bitcoin. We believe that Bitcoin and CBIT should be joined as one unit.
I kind of understand your idea there, but I guess I'm having trouble visualizing how it would function, or like from a user perspective even.
Well, envision. We believe that you should get rid of taking the idea of putting the transactional data in the blocks.
Okay.
Turn the blocks into super routers, where you just put a 2 or 3 meg worth of software in the routers themselves, and they never change from that point forward. So the blocks never grow. That becomes a problem you don't have to deal with ever again.
And so the transactions are moving on the Cbit blockchain, kind of in parallel to the Bitcoin blockchain?
Well, no. The 2 blocks form at the same time.
Okay.
Then strands of software go between the 2 blocks now. And the routers route the transactional data between the blocks and store the data that the 2 blocks are creating in channels or strands between the 2 blocks. And the routers go in between the 2 blocks and retrieve the data, store the data, or whatever that, whatever it's doing.
Mm-hmm. And so the objective ultimately then is to make Cbit more expandable than Bitcoin will ever be.
Right. The 2 combined together exponentially expand the speed and the data storage capacity.
Interesting.
That sounds really cool.
Look at a DNA strand. You have the 2 DNA outer channels. And then if you look at the interconnecting bridges, you've ever seen a DNA strand?
Oh, yeah.
Think of Cbit as the right curl and Bitcoin is the left curl. And then the bridges between them as the DNA strands or as the channels. So the blocks are like routers sending the coin transactional data, the retail data or the exchange data into those bridges between the blocks, and the routers go and retrieve that data or store that data or retrieve the documents or whatever's stored in the bridges. And you can have tens of thousands of bridges between the blocks.
Is the data for the bridges written into the blockchain then?
Right.
Okay, interesting.
That's a really, like you said, that's a big project. Man, I wish you guys the best of luck, and I really hope you can accomplish it. It sounds awesome.
I don't see why it can't be done, but it's a huge project.
Right, yeah.
And there's always, you have to, kind of change in the Bitcoin world, as we've seen with this fork issue, is always a huge, it's a, really big ship to kind of try and steer around, but it's really awesome to see these ideas out there of ways we can expand the Bitcoin blockchain, things that could work with the Bitcoin blockchain. So yeah, man, I think it's really cool. I'm definitely excited to see what comes from this project in the future.
Well, another idea about Cbit though also is, we believe that Bitcoin needs a smaller denomination.
Yeah.
We believe like Bitcoin is the $100 bill. We believe it needs a $10 bill.
Okay.
And we believe Cbit can be that also.
Is that the motivation behind the higher block reward?
Right.
Okay.
So 10 times the 21 million is 210 million, which gives you the 1/10 ratio, which gives you the $10 bill. So
Cool.
we're working on the merchant suite right now, which gives us the ability to do the payment system.
Awesome.
So
And then that'll be something that anybody could put on their website or wherever they needed to accept Cbit easily?
right. So Amazon or anybody will be able to accept Cbit.
Nice.
We'll be complimentary. We'll go right up beside Bitcoin.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it sounds awesome. And like you said, you guys weren't expecting to get noticed so quickly by miners, so that's sounds like you're on the right track to me, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it seems like there's definitely a lot of interest out there, and it's built a pretty good sized community up already, all things considered. So I'm definitely really excited about this one.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you, man. We're really happy to have you.
And I guess we'll let you go now, and we're gonna hear from another coin person. So we really appreciate it again, and hopefully we'll be watching CBIT and maybe talk to you soon sometime.
Anytime, guys.
Thanks again. Bye.
All right, that was William Martin's great insights there on CBIT, kind of what they were about. I know it's tough with altcoins in the mix to really get a feel for kind of what the actual mission of some of these coins is, so it's cool to hear from them what they're all about.
Well, especially when there's... Oh, sorry, go ahead, TheCryptoWorld.
No, that's all right. Just like it really looks like a great project that could bring a lot to the Bitcoin community.
Yeah, it really does. And it seems like there's a lot of those right now, like, sort of popping up, and it's hard to... I think that, for people that want to find coins to maybe invest in and stuff, it becomes difficult, for me at least, to know which ones are legit, because, we've seen...
There's too many altcoins which got deployed every weeks.
Right, yeah, it's really tough to separate the good stuff from the bad, and I don't think anyone has a foolproof method to do that yet.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more like really actual blockchain projects now too. I think compared to like a year ago or even 2 years ago, you saw tons of coins being launched, and a lot of them had investment behind them, but we weren't seeing kind of these huge overhauls the way that we're seeing today. CBIT's kind of it's not a clone by any means, but it's not like a blockchain 2.0 thing either, but it's also an interesting new take on the blockchain. And we're seeing a lot more of these just new takes on the blockchain type coins as opposed to just another QT, which, like you guys are saying, makes it really hard to know what to choose, what's a more serious project, what's actually going to follow through with its goals and stuff.
I mean, people even felt that way about Ethereum, right?
Yeah, for the longest time, I would have a lot of people laughed at Ethereum IPO buyers, and I think I was one of them for a long time. And then, here we are. They changed. Obviously, they changed everything.
All right, we're gonna call up someone from Augur here and say hello. And actually, we'll let him tell us all about it because he's gonna know more.
Augur.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
How's it going, man?
good.
Excellent.
Thanks for talking to us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, tell us about Augur.
Yeah, so Augur's basically basically a program written on Ethereum, and it's basically a series of smart contracts. And what they allow you to do is they allow you to create these things called prediction markets. So it's a platform for prediction markets. And what a prediction market is it's a very broad financial market where you can essentially speculate on pretty much anything you can think of, as long as whatever you're speculating on has like possible outcomes. So to give you an example, you could speculate on, whether Hillary Clinton will beat Bernie Sanders to get the Democratic nomination, or anything like that. And people basically trade back and forth, basically through an exchange. And so Augur the platform kind of serves as that exchange mechanism. And then it also serves to kind of resolve the markets at the end.
Cool.
So, I mean, I think it's an interesting idea. For a little history on these prediction markets, I think InTrade was one of the first really big ones, but they started to get really popular, like Joey was saying, for predicting like political races and stuff. But not just political races. People use them for all kinds of anything you can imagine can go to bet on a prediction market. I know InTrade got shut down. There were some legal issues there, but a bunch of new ones have sprung up, and they've all been very successful. It's a huge growing market, and so it's something that it sounds like it lends itself really well to a blockchain. So I think it's definitely a really cool idea.
Huh. So how would a person go about using it?
Yeah, so right now it's testing with Play Money, but once it's launched, what you would do is you would basically get access to it somehow. So you could go to a website, or you could download it on BitTorrent, download it on GitHub or whatever, and it runs all in your browser, locally client side in your browser. And so what you would do is you would basically, when it launches, you'll be able to use either Bitcoin or Ether on it. Eventually, you'll be able to use US dollar pegged currencies. And so what you would do is you deposit your Bitcoin or Ether, and then you'll basically just be able to search for whatever type of market you're looking for. And you can basically trade in them. The other thing you can do as a user is you could also create your own market. So if a market that you want to speculate on something doesn't exist, you could actually trade it on Augur. That's the main thing so there's a couple things that really differentiate Augur from centralized prediction markets. One is that all your money is stored on the blockchain as opposed to in someone's bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other is that anyone can create a market on Augur. So if you go to say Predicted or InTrade when it existed, and there's something you want to speculate on but it doesn't exist, you're just kind of out of luck.
Okay, that's cool. I thought people could add their own markets on there, but it kind of makes sense in a way because now that I think about it, I've seen people be like, "Oh, Predicted added this new market," so obviously that's not how it is.
Right.
So essentially, to have anyone be able to open up the markets would be crazy.
So
It's
what
awesome.
ends up determining the odds of the bet, or is that just the market trading itself tells you that?
It's the market trading itself. That's kind of the cool part.
Oh, cool, yeah. Nice. I've never participated in anything like that, but it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering, what is kind of the mechanism that forces the market to go the way of the trade? Let's say I was are there shares or something that have to be equalized, or what would prevent somebody from manipulating the market the same way that commodities markets and coin markets are manipulated?
Right. So there's a few things. So if you think of a commodities market, one thing about them is that they're not really bounded. So what I mean by that is, let's say in 2008 before the crash, you thought oil was overvalued at say 120 a barrel, and you wanted to short it. If you did that, your loss is potentially negative infinity. Your potential gains if you long oil are also potentially positive infinity.
Right.
But since the potential for loss is so much higher in traditional markets, there's a real disincentive to short things. So if you look at say a stock, you can look up the statistics on how much of a company's shares that are outstanding are actually just being shorted and how many are long. And unless it's a really bad company that's about to go bankrupt, there's almost always way more longs than there are shorts. And so that kind of tends to allow forms of market manipulation, because it's easy to cause things like short squeezes in a traditional market, since your loss is potentially negative infinity. Basically, the economist, John Maynard Keynes, he said something like, markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent.
Yeah, I love that quote.
So it's even if you're right, you can still lose a ton of money. Now switch to a prediction market, and you have bounded losses and bounded gains. So say there's a real world example for this. Say it's 2012, and it's the presidential election, and you're trading Romney or trading Obama. This actually happened on Incrementum. This is a real example. So someone from the Romney campaign, or someone who's associated with them, buys a few million shares of Romney, boost the price up. I think we boosted them up to maybe 60%, or maybe something like that. I don't remember for sure.
Nice.
What happens is the market very easily corrects it, because you can do one of two things. You can short Romney, and your loss isn't negative infinity. It's just however much you put up, because it's fully collateralized. There's no margin.
Okay.
Or you can buy Obama. But the main reason they're harder to manipulate, at least in my opinion, is it's much easier to short a prediction market, because you know that your loss is guaranteed to be bounded by something.
Okay, nice.
And can you tell us about the rep on Gatecoin? What is that?
So I actually have never talked to Gatecoin. They I think what they did is, if you've heard of like EtherCoin,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
they basically, for us, they basically bought Rep and then issued it as like IOUs on their platform, so you can trade the IOUs around. But like,
That's what we kind of thought that was happening
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
yeah, but if you like have Rep that you bought for yourself, and you want to trade it, right now all you can really do is you can trade the account on like Reddit/r/Rep Trader, but you can't actually sell it on Gatecoin yet.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
But yeah, Rep is basically it's used to resolve the markets. So like, if you think of a traditional financial market, there is no resolution. You're just trading shares of Apple, and you're going to trade shares of Apple for as long as Apple exists.
Right.
Or if they somehow went private, which I doubt would happen. So, but with a prediction market, you're trading events. So events happen, so you need a way to kind of close the market out. And whatever ended up happening. So back to the Romney example, Obama won. Obama shares are worth $1 each. Romney shares are worth $0 each at the end. And so Rep allows us to close the market and coordinate the payouts by basically telling the smart contracts what actually happened. So Rep allows a bunch of people to say Obama actually won, or Romney actually won, or whatever happened.
And the Rep is a blockchain token that is also tradable then?
Yeah, so it's basically the problem that it kind of solves is with this sort of platform, and you can do one of two things. Ethereum doesn't have internet access, so your only options are either to kind of make this a crowdsourced kind of thing with Rep, or something similar to it, or your only other option is to just have a third party resolve them, which doesn't work for a lot of obvious reasons, like they can be bribed, or they can just buy $1 million in Romney shares and say Romney won, for instance.
Yeah. Well, nice. That's very cool.
Yeah, it sounds great. And so, how can people participate in the test?
Yeah, so you can go to app.augur.net. Augur, in case you're wondering, is spelled AUGUR. And there you can make an account. It's just all stored in your browser. And it'll basically give you free money to play around with, free test money. It's not real money.
Oh, sick. Yeah, this looks sick.
Nice. The Crypto World, do you have any questions you'd like to add?
No, guys. Sorry. I was just listening to you and it explained everything I was wondering about the project and the coins. So,
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Looks way good.
Nice. Well, do you have anything that you want to add before we let you go, Joey?
No, the only thing I would say is, our beta will be officially launching soon. Right now it's technically still an alpha, but we're going to officially launch a beta soon, so stay tuned next week.
Okay, cool.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
for having
Joey.
me.
Thanks again.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Joey from Augur. Do you know, was he the developer, or what's his role?
Actually, I think so. I'm not 100% certain.
Oh, I guess we should ask him before he
Didn't
took off, but he's from Augur. I thought that was a really great explanation of what the coin was all about. And going back to what I was saying about prediction markets earlier, I think it's a really awesome idea for a blockchain application.
Yeah.
Because they're blowing up right now, and they're in a legal gray area that essentially, blockchain is already its own nice little gray area. So
Yeah, try to stop that.
yeah, exactly. Throw it onto a blockchain and see what happens, and that I think it's great.
Cool. Well, I'm going to get in touch with someone from the Secure Exchange Coin here.
Secure Exchange Coin, our next featured coin this week.
This is Daniel. Let me see here.
Just trying to get a hold of Daniel here.
We're going to get some music going on this sometime. I'm thinking about, gotta have
Yeah, a little background music.
Greetings.
Hello!
Hey, how's it
Hey.
going?
Hey there.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. How's it
Um,
going?
It's going well, thanks. How are you?
Very good.
Great.
Very good.
So what's your role with Secure Exchange Coin?
So that would be a safe exchange coin.
Oh, sorry, Safe Exchange Coin.
Safe exchange.
Yeah.
Coin.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So, I architect an exchange, a decentralized exchange, right?
Yep.
That works over the Safe network. So that basically means it's an instantaneous crypto exchange.
Nice.
Yeah, I basically built that. That's my role, right?
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then there's a token related to it that's trading.
Yeah, exactly. So there's Safe Exchange Coin, which, so like in the spirit of decentralized organizations, I decided to distribute the ownership of the Safe Exchange, and to kind of make sure there's some kind of organization out there of people who can make sure that it operates into the future. And so I basically just approached the community and said, here's an open auction for every single coin except for 1%. And people bought them. I presented it to as many places as I had time for, at the time, or how many people I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a pretty good response from the world.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was a epic success. It was like people getting a first entry to the ecosystem of the Safe network.
And is the Safe network, is that a pre-existing blockchain? What's that all about?
So Safe network is a DHT network. It's like a BitTorrent, practically.
Oh, okay, so it's unrelated to the blockchain.
No, so it's sincerely related to cryptography and the freedom of internet, the ability to communicate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like right now we're using Skype, right? And like, we're using a commercial road. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
So like the Safe network is a non-commercial road, and it's regulated resource based, whereas like Skype is regulated, how much they charge us for this, and we got to pay them, or the free version is it just sucks, and you could get people's IP address off this stuff. It's stupid.
Yep,
So
yeah,
then-
definitely.
So then Safe network would just take all those computing resources that Microsoft dedicates to Skype, and make an agnostic system of it. You see what I mean? So you have an internetwork of computers that just store any kind of data. So, whereas with BitTorrent, for example, you store a particular file, and then it's up to you to keep that file alive, right?
Right.
Yeah.
On the Safe network, you store that file, and the system determines how to regulate its storage within that network, and the whole process is obfuscated and encrypted. So at any moment, no node knows what it's carrying. So BitTorrent obviously does that, but you already know what's the file. You know what I mean? In Safe network, you don't know what's the file, and you can share this file around. No one knows what it is ever until you make it available to that person.
Sounds really cool.
Exactly. And then, so that's the Safe coin. So Safe coin will buy you some of that capacity in that network to just store your files forever and make them available to you at your will and at the will of everybody. So if a file gets overly popular, the network will compensate. It will replicate further that copy, make it more readily available, and in more expansive place to access. So like on BitTorrent, if you download a file that has 1 seed, you're still gonna get your file, right?
Right.
And at like the maximum rate. So Safe network keeps it at 4. So if you download on BitTorrent ever, you'll understand that if you got 4 seeds, there's a really good chance that file is gonna come in and like a 1 gig movie will come through in like 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fast. So that's pretty much like what Safe Network does. There was like, the team at MadeSafe, they demonstrated the launcher, which is it's like the intermediary between applications and the Safe Network, so that you authenticate with the launcher, and then apps don't get at your logins. They can never access your login information. So they interface with the launcher, right, in application. So that demo application was a way where you can store a template, a template of an HTML of a website, of any website, and pull it up in a browser, and that process was accessing that file from the Safe Network, and the Safe Network was storing the files and then doing that process of replicating them as needed and like serving up that data.
Cool. Yeah. So can people already put files on and store things there?
Yeah. So you can. I don't know if the test network is up right now. It's like it went off. It was on for a week, went off, and then it was reset. So it might be still on right now. And so yeah, you could store a website, and anybody could watch it from if they have the Safe launcher on their thing. And right now it's hosted on MadeSafe's computers. So because that system is still being finalized.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have like an auto build script for that. So until it's like packaged, like the same way that the demo apps would package and stuff like that, it won't be very user friendly. So that's like the next incoming from MadeSafe. So packaged vaults, they're called vaults. That's the thing that stores the chunks and serves the chunks. Yeah.
Is there a way to know how much storing files will cost in the future?
So when you spend a Safecoin, it kind of lets you know. All right, like it'll let you know at the moment of spending.
Oh, okay.
As far as I understand right now.
So, in terms of, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the Safecoin implementation that enters after the vault. So right now is getting that BitTorrent data serving architecture that we were just testing in the last couple of weeks, and then it'll be the Safecoin economy that'll be programmed in, and then there will be reference code to understand exactly how it works from there.
So, as far as Safe Exchange Coin itself, what's the level of usability on that decentralized market?
Right, exactly. So because we have Safe Network, right? The way it actually transmits information. So it's like the superhighway, right? A decentralized superhighway.
Yep.
For any kind of data at all, and the ownership of that data is clear. So there's a clear distinction between who owns what and what it is at any time, right? And using that, we can store cryptographic payloads that form coins, that form a coin attached to a file of a movie. That you could basically, like they say, like I guess, like I don't know, maybe I read this before. It's like tokenize all the digital data. So Safe Network lets you do that very easily and have a clear, definitive line of ownership of all the digital content. You see what I mean? Like this file at that place belongs to some person, right?
Right.
And if you made a copy, you'd be a different file at some other place owned by some other person.
Okay.
So then it's like, if you're a pop star and you want to market your file, it's much easier because anybody else's copy, like if you go to this link to get that song, whoever marketed it the best to everybody, that's who dominates that file, right?
So you mean it might be a way for artists to avoid piracy?
Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And because Safe Network, the transmitting that Safe coin and any kind of coin on the Safe Network is instantaneous. It's real time. It's like the speed of BitTorrent. So no more confirmations required here. and so that means like you can do micropayments for real, and there's no transaction fee.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
No wonder it's blowing up.
Yeah, I mean, price just looks like straight up so far, so that's...
Well, it's something I've been working on since I heard of MadeSafe in June 2014.
Nice.
So it's gonna be almost like a second year in this, and yeah, it's really awesome. Like, there's a lot of amazing things happening over there on the Safe network.
Well, nice, man.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Little question, just like that.
Yeah.
I contacted you like 3 weeks ago. I don't know if you remember me on Bitcoin Talks. My name is Endo281, and I asked you how the other developers can add their coin to Safecex, and you answered me that in March you should release a bit of the software of the cryptocurrency making toolkit.
Yeah.
So is it still, are you still planning to release it in March?
Yeah. So development is still going well. It's not finished exactly just yet. Yeah, my plan is still for March, and also during this week I will be hiring a front-end developers that know how to code an Electron framework.
Okay.
To build 3 user interfaces as well. So things are quite well.
Awesome.
That's nice.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty good. We're pretty well off, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nice, man.
I'm looking forward to letting people finally use this thing, and of course, we have a dependency on the Safe network. This system is just, you know what I mean? It's just built only for the Safe network. You see?
Right.
Yep.
So, that being said, it's like when we can bring it to the people will be like a very fascinating day. I think not any other system right now in the whole crypto space is having something like instantaneous, crypto payloads for anything yet. Like there's the solutions right now are like there's a very huge trust on third parties to have like their own database of the blockchain and stuff like that. So I think like there's chances to game those. You know what I mean? A lot of. I guess what I'm just trying to say is that it's got to get agnostic on the data part, so that whatever you put on it, you can just easily. Like, why shouldn't things be instant and that max capacity?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So,
Yep.
like, so naturally, the place where I want to develop is to build just that. You know what I mean? So, like, I go in there with blinders on, and just focus on making that thing the way it's supposed to be, and like, I'm going on a ton of experience from using a online trading platform for like 16 years or something. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, yeah, exactly. So
Nice.
it's like, this is a no-brainer. I'm very much looking forward to meeting the developers of the Electron framework and getting that going. And so I decided to go completely separate myself from the front end, from doing the user interface.
Sure.
And just dedicate that to. In the past, I worked with GTK, and so GTK and Rust. So that's the thing. Everything is built in Rust. So you can't say there's limited amounts of user interface potential there, because you can't, because I can use Electron, because Rust gives you what's called the foreign function interface bindings that lets you just take the code that you need that's written in the powerful systems language of Rust, and then you can connect it to a JavaScript framework at ease, like just like a package. You see what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's too easy to integrate with JavaScript. So that means you can use Rust was developed by Mozilla, so they build a browser, right? So they developed Rust to be very good with a browser. So JavaScript frameworks, the kinds that like make a really easy to use interface. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. So before I was using GTK, and that was a pretty much pure C, pure Rust implementation, and but it took a lot of time because there's few Rust experienced programmers, let alone Rust experienced GTK programmers. So,
Whereas with JavaScript, obviously, you've got,
I got a lot of people I can talk to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then I geared completely to just building the system in Rust, rather than splitting my time building the UI, building the system. So now all I do is focus on the system, and I get help from one other person, and now we'll add on to the team someone to build the user interface, so that we'll have the marketplace for music, the marketplace for items, and the cryptocurrency exchange.
Wow. So what's the easiest way for people to follow updates on the project?
Safe.exchange.
Okay.
http://safe.exchange, or just safe.exchange. That takes us to the forum, and there's just like trading talk on the forum, and updates are there. So I mean, you can just, my words are there on a regular basis, and I update threads on the price action in the markets as well.
Okay. Cool.
And in the past, I published an automatic trading robot for Bittrex, except I didn't really follow up on it very much because it's just something I put together real quick to connect, just to prove to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
proof of concept.
Not even proof of concept, just to show that it could be done, that we can Rust into the Bittrex exchange, and run some trading automation. And it works, like you could set a price level, set a percentage of your account, and it'll just buy in little fragments if the price is within the range.
Cool.
And then, yeah, it's pretty funny. And then if it goes above, like let's say you put it to buy, and then you put a range, and then you tell it where to take profit. It'll take a profit, like X percent from wherever you specify to buy. So like you pick a percentage, how much profit you want to make. So it'll buy it, and the price will like go up, right? And then it'll take a profit. Or you can put it to sell. So it'll sell, and then it'll take a profit if the price goes down. Like, I just made it for fun.
Nice, that's cool. Yeah, I always love thinking about like programmatic trading and that kind of stuff. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah. So I made just a little demonstration, but I'm more fascinated with building the systems for an exchange, and I hope to, afterwards go back to the robots and then give people the power to trade robotically. Like sometimes the price just collapses, right, for no reason. And wouldn't it be cool if you had a robot that just sat there 24/7 and just checked if the price just collapsed for no reason?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like,
totally.
And yeah, so I'd build like a, something like that. Because you can't sit there and watch it. Traders would totally dig something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool. And by the way, so the Safe Exchange coin, right? Like on the Safe network, there's like 10% of the safe coins that are, that exist on the Safe network. They will be, part of the algorithm is to distribute them to application developers. So, and it's in an automatic way, where if your application is interfacing with the Safe network and data is happening between your application and the Safe network, there's a multiplier, there's some factor that you can gain safe coins. Safe coins, which are the kind of coins that when you spend them, you buy data for your eternal storage of whatever data you're making.
Mm-hmm.
So Safe Exchange coin, whatever you owe in Safe Exchange coin, you gain safe coins from that.
Okay.
When the app earns safe coin, it gets distributed to the owners of the safe exchange coin. So during the crowd sale, 1% of the coins were reserved for the development part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that there's an eternal income for the developers of the safe exchange from that 1%. See what I mean?
I don't know how it'll last forever.
Well, because if you always own 1% of the safe exchange, then, and it always earns a safe coin, then the developer's ownership of 1% would always earn safe coins.
Oh, okay.
There's like an amount that's indexed to go to the developers, essentially.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. So that way, in the decentralized organization, that 1% will be, so when Safe Network goes live, I'll program the algorithm to take that coin and just reserve it, and then the group can vote how to distribute that coin to future developers.
Okay, I understand what you mean now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we get to bypass, because it's all encrypted, all anonymous, and people expose what they want to do. To whom they want to do it with.
So yeah, I can see why you're excited for it too, because it'll be fun to see what people do.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell teacups on the exchange.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna sell what I call the Dalai Shala lifestyle, which is sugar, teacups, and tea.
Okay, nice.
Sugar and tea, sugar
The
and
Dolly
tea.
Shalal lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Available on the Safe Network.
I drink like 2 to 4 pitchers of tea per day.
Wow.
So, I'd be like my best customer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's gonna form a basis for the market right there, I think.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, think like Amazon. You share your credit card information. Target loses your credit card information.
Yep.
Sony lost it. Like every company.
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah, they've all. Those are just the ones that got caught losing it.
That's yeah, and think about like, I think of like Ross Ulbricht for a second, and like the agents devoted to taking him down, all like pillaging him, plus everybody else who they still didn't rat on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And then when data theft happens, you don't know what's happening. Like some millionaire gets robbed digitally. Who do you think is robbing them digitally? The Patriot Act. Like the NSA themselves. Some agent just like jotting on the notebook, and then they're like some secret hacker in the cafe shop in another state. You know what I mean? From where they work.
Yeah, could be
I'm
anybody.
not even joking. I'm sure of it. And so what I'm trying to say is that Safe Network is an essential thing for all people and the future of wealth, because it's a joke. This cash system has become a joke. It's like a total it's ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the money is insured, right? So hackers run away with 1 million, and then it's insured. So then they produce another 1 million. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that is a pretty
It's a joke.
convenient solution.
Yeah, it's a convenient solution to the problem.
Over and over again, and they will just replace it.
Yeah, that's
And then-
not sustainable.
And then pay someone to find the person who's already on the run with like XYZ amounts. So, like, I'm just saying, something's got to give. That's why there's like something like Bitcoin is essential. Like all cryptocurrencies, that's one thing that like fascinates me. It's like this is like the rise of the crypto.
Right.
It's like the emergence of the crypto economy.
Yeah, a whole new way of structuring economies.
And the thing is that the crypto economy, our crypto economy, like the scale of the crypto economy of what I'm referring to, is the most legitimate one compared to every other monetary system on the planet Earth right now. The crypto economies. Because they all have some kind of distribution algorithm. Everything is in the clear how the chips are laid, right?
Yeah, they're the most transparent.
Exactly. And and they have, I mean, some of them might be infinite, right, in scale.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them have some kind of capacity, right? So, I'm just saying, like, you know, you look at fiat, US dollar, they just replace it, right? So where's the accountability there? There's no capacity. Debt equals money. You need more and more and more of it, right? And the pace at which it comes out from, like you guys saw The Big Short, right?
I did not.
No, I haven't seen it.
No.
You guys got to see this movie, The Big Short. I mean,
The Big Short. Okay.
yeah,
Check
you
it
guys
out.
will just. So there's this book called Liar's Poker. It's written by Michael Lewis, a very famous author. But this book was written a long time ago, you know, like a long time ago, one of his first books called Liar's Poker.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
talks about how the Solomon Brothers mortgage-backed securities bond trading desk emerged from like a group of janitors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just started packaging houses and selling the bonds, you know?
Huh.
Bonds became like famous, so people started. It's like cryptocurrencies, you know what I mean? Like a new class called
Yeah.
bonds.
It's a new thing.
Definitely.
out there.
That I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
the most exciting thing I've ever seen or been part of. So
Yeah, it's really fun to be a part of it, and
Yeah.
we definitely we're really happy to hear from you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Those
Cool.
are some really great perspectives and stuff. That's
And
definitely.
now we know so much more about Safe Exchange, but we really wanted to understand it too. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks for reaching out. I'm glad to be here, and hope to catch you guys later.
Thanks, man. We'll keep following the project.
Cool. Take care.
You too.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So that was cool. I mean, he definitely. I didn't know all that much about the Safe Network, and especially
No.
what's going on there. So
Yeah, it's
it was
fascinating.
cool to hear it firsthand. He obviously knows a ton about the subject.
Yeah, that was great.
So there's Safe Exchange Coin. I mean, I hadn't really paid too much attention to it before, but it definitely, as far as the market goes, it looks really solid.
Well,
right
getting
now.
listed on Bittrex kind of came out of, I think, once it got listed there and the price went up, then it's easy to start noticing.
Yeah, but
things.
it got listed and it did well. It held its ground early and now it's going up. So that's
Yeah, it's
always a good
fantastic.
sign.
So cool. We're gonna take a look at some of the new coins that got released because once again it was a crazy week with I don't know what's on this list, like 20 coins.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, obviously thanks to all of our guests, but the new coins, one of my favorite segments of the week. Just always fun to see the ridiculous selection that comes out.
Yeah. The first one was Total Coin, and I swear that I've seen this logo somewhere before. I don't know if it looked familiar to either of you guys, but it's like
It's
Has
just
this
like that
happened before?
generic.
Deja vu again.
It's just like one of those generic stock photo logos that people pull off the internet from who knows where, but it didn't go anywhere, right?
No, it does have a GIF of someone throwing money at the
Yeah,
bottom.
Leo from Wolf of Wall
Oh,
Street.
right.
I thought what was funny about this one, he has like all these bounties up for translations, and there's all these people jumping on him. There's only like 10 words in the thread, and someone called him out for like, why? There's nothing to translate in this thread.
That's funny.
So, and then I think the
Proof of stake.
blockchain's dead. He closed the thread or whatever. It's
Oh,
done.
it's dead. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's done.
Still a funny one. Good. Unfed, this is one actually got listed somewhere already. Let's see. Got listed on Yobit, which Yobit listed a ton of stuff this week. Which
Yobit
we'll
added
tell
a
them all at
ton
the
of
end,
coins this week. It's hard to know how they even picked them.
Yeah.
I'm a little annoyed because Really Coin that we talked about the last couple of weeks supposedly was supposed to get listed and still hasn't. So I'm a little
because they
annoyed by
paid
that.
for it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yes.
have a bunch, but
That's not right.
So all these coins get listed except for essentially the one coin I mine. Classic. Unfed. So what do you think? Did you check this one out at all, CryptoWorld?
Yeah, just check it out a bit. And the dev looks active, but you just say that you don't want to be innovative about any points on the crypto side.
Mm-hmm.
The coins looks all POS, so yeah, looks like another coin you just paid the 3 Bitcoins to get listed on your bit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
somehow they got picked.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I felt about it. It's like kind of the oldest theme in the universe. Like, oh, we're gonna make this a good coin because people are gonna like it or whatever. It's like a circular reasoning behind it, but it has not a super low difficulty, and it actually I checked the market cap and it's It's low. It's like only a Bitcoin and a half
Oh,
for
wow.
the coins that have been mined now.
Oh,
But
right.
it's a long proof of work, so
Hmm.
I feel like as far as the price goes, it's probably not. It's probably at a good price, I guess, for what it is.
Neptunium relaunched successfully, looks like. That was that Crypto Night one that maybe had to reset for some reason. Have you ever... we talked to Not So Fast last week, and he hadn't ever been able to mine with Crypto Night. The Crypto World, have you ever used it?
Yeah, I used it. Was it Monero was using it?
Yeah, I think Monero was kind of. I don't know if they were the first, but they're definitely the
Yeah.
biggest.
I used to mine with my stuff just a few times, but it was not that profitable compared to other coins or all
Right.
those who turns around cryptos. But yeah, I used to mine some a few times ago, but nothing much.
Do you know? Does it favor GPU or CPU?
Not sure about that, but I think it's better with CPU.
Okay. So yeah, there's Neptunium. I don't really know much about it either. They relaunched supposedly. I don't remember. The problem was with the rewards or something that they changed, but I like seeing coins come out with different algorithms. It's it's one of those things. I think if you're set up to mine crypto note, it can be fun because you have less competition in that realm essentially,
sure.
so you can like get a huge amount of the chain, and you never know what's going to happen. It kind of signals that there probably is a little bit more focus on the development side compared to other things. But we've also seen crypto note coins come and go kind of without making a splash.
Sure, definitely.
So,
Yeah.
kind of a wait and see coin for me.
Incrementum is like a ICO on Yobit.
It's not really. It's weird. It's not an ICO. So it's like 100% pre-mine, but they paid for the listing. I think is what happened. It was never. I don't think it was ever an ICO.
I guess that's different in the sense that there's just like you're buying it directly from him.
Yeah, exactly. Everything on the exchange is him, and the joke is that there's an AI essentially. The idea controlling it's like
Yeah, I saw that.
an AI controlling the market, which is funny because Yobit doesn't even have an API. Which I mean, it doesn't mean it couldn't be still AI controlled to some extent, but
Huh, that's funny.
it's a weird choice of exchange if you want to make a coin that the theme is that it's controlled by an AI. But the chart is like straight up right now. We'll see how long that lasts.
Straight up, one page of comments.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me
More
of
like 5 comments and a page.
yeah. It reminds me of like some of the C-Cex like hash profit type coins that are just like
Yep.
super scammy, but they always have that high price.
Yep. Startcoin, also just one page. Doesn't look like people could get it working. So
It looks like it's just a dead old coin.
this next one was funny. None of these are, we just like talking about these because they're fun. But this one was great because he's saying that the price is 10 cents and when it's launched it's going to be $409. So obviously...
Yeah, it's just going to be a quick 400x, guys. No need to worry. You can see he did the calculations somehow. My favorite thing about this coin is where did he come up with that number of 409.60? Like it's so ludicrous.
I don't know.
Completely new algorithm. You invented a hashing algorithm, MC Launch. I don't believe that.
So careful there.
And if you just check, like, the website that, the website just looked like the scammy website where you got a pop-up saying that you wanted $1 million.
Oh, really?
So it's just like trying to get people's emails and shit, probably. Funny.
Yep, so...
And the presentation looks a lot like the Start coin. If you just check, those have the offshore website. Just the way the order fits, it just fits just like the Start coin presentation.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's this coin launch robot
Yeah, it's
conspiracy.
just churns them out.
Then Bitcoinultra was released.
I think this is a Rian. I'm not sure.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I can't tell.
They never
When I
said it.
checked, it was at block like 70,000. So I think it's an older
Okay.
one. But
Oh yeah, new beginning.
they've re-announced. I don't know. Nothing exciting here
Nope.
for me.
Maybe they can tell us though. We'd love to hear about
Yeah,
it.
if you're a Bitcoinultra fan, let us know.
And
look
then
at the
Pepe
odds.
Coin actually successfully launched.
Pepe Coin. This is coin. Like what? like it's hard to even say what the deal is with this coin. It's funny. It's had 2 failed launches, right?
Yep, and then this one.
And then it instantly launches, instantly gets such pool, and instantly is on C-Cex. So it's like, obviously, it's not just this, it's not a coin that was launched by this coin launching robot.
I ended
right?
up mining a little bit of it and just selling it for a little bit of profit just because...
Did you sell it on C-Cex right away then?
Yeah.
Nice. That's funny. I bought some today, actually, because... I don't know, it's got enough green flags for me, I guess, or whatever, in terms of there seems to be enough people mining it all the time. The price isn't that high. And then it had all these people on it from like day one. It's got all these pools, all this ridiculous stuff that you don't see for just a lot of the super generic
it's super fun.
Yobit coins or whatever.
It's just a lot of fun when these coins get launched. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So I have some Pepe. We'll see what happens to it. I wouldn't be surprised to watch it go straight. Did you get any Pepe, CryptoWorld?
No.
No Pepe. And they have like
Sorry.
13 pages of people posting Pepe memes. You gotta love that. So.
Yeah, and we got something like SuperPepe this week, too.
Yeah,
another Pepe. It's already been cloned. But this is also not the first Pepe.
Okay, but that's not the best part about SuperPepe is that the launch failed, and so now they're waiting for the relaunch.
Yeah, another launch failed. It's
so
tough.
It's following that important path.
Yeah, they need at least one more failed launch, and then they can launch instantly. I hope they launch instantly with like on some weird exchange. Super CCX.
And then there was a Star Trek inspired coin.
Oh, Klingon Empire. I didn't see this one.
Isn't the most appealing thing to me, but I think that if somebody like launched an Always Sunny in Philadelphia coin or like a TV show that I really liked, I'd probably mine it.
Always Sunny coin, that would be incredible. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if this is the first Star Trek coin. It just is it billing itself? Is one of the Star Trek inspired coins based on NovaCoin and Script Algo is what it says.
So I would say maybe as a few years person that I could understand, if I was a big Star Trek fan, grab a couple of those, right?
I like it as the idea of just putting something on a blockchain, right? Let's just make a blockchain for stuff. Why not? That
It's practically art.
Yeah, exactly. I like that idea of it. So have fun with your coin, Star Trek fans.
The next one that was launched was ENE coin or any coin.
ENE coin. What is the deal with this one?
These guys have some. This is one of those ones where they just give you the loftiest promise, like without any sort of, They're gonna make an RPG, and they're asking for like, there's gonna be 15 to 25 levels. These are all like shirts. Just tells to me that they don't actually have this plan, even if their intentions might be to make an RPG. The groundwork doesn't seem to be there for that particular part, so I'd say at this point it's just a blockchain, like a lot of these end up being.
What I'm saying, did you see? No, it's for they want to make hentai games. Did you see that?
No, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
it's
for anime porno apparently. So.
Oh, great.
So that's real classy. Obviously, gonna just really explode.
Yeah, it's
huge value for hentai. People love that apparently. Yeah, not interesting to me.
Bitsupra.
This didn't launch, right? Just
they ended up with a new topic there.
New topic.
Yep.
Okay. Offering a
Send to the link.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought it didn't launch. Okay, this is all news to me now.
Another
kind of entertainment.
I don't know a lot about this one, obviously.
I see a lot of charts. I see a lot of graphics.
It looks like a network where the customer will receive profits for every product they are helping to sell on the network. So just like it reminds me something like a pyramid scheme.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the wouldn't be the first crypto pyramid scheme. So, but most of them are independent of the blockchain. So the first person to come up with an actual blockchain based pyramid scheme probably will do well.
Well, there's a few of those Ethereum.
Do they
Ethereum contracts that are pyramid schemes out there.
They do have contract-based pyramid schemes out already. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Bitsupra got beaten to the punch. I don't know. Nothing. I'm not excited by this one.
But tell us about it. Lemoncoin. This one, didn't appeal again. It's just like
nothing here. Oh, coin. We made a coin. This was actually not the first Lemoncoin. Did you know that?
No, but it doesn't surprise me very much.
I mined a Lemoncoin with my GPU, like when I just had the one GPU, and there was a coin that came out called Lemoncoin. I insta-mined at launch, and it like, I think it got onto it either got onto the really old Mint Pal before they were big, or one of the other old exchanges. But then it like was worthless. It traded for nothing and then was gone. So that was Lemoncoin for me. So I don't know. I can't give my attention to another Lemoncoin.
No.
It- It's also
I would never mind any argument to algorithm coin. Not know why. Not fun.
Huh.
just one of those things like, oh, I don't want to install it. I'm that way about a lot of coins.
Yeah.
The next one that was announced was EthereumScrypt,
It's like,
which definitely just has the name Ethereum in it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Script
see
afterwards.
we're gonna see if we already saw Dark Ethereum. I guess we'll probably see another one. Like, we've got Dark Ethereum. We're gonna get Ethereum Dark, EthereumScrypt, Ethereum Light.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Slam Dunk Ethereum, Nuclear Ethereum, like whatever, anything anyone can think of, they're gonna take onto it.
But not much posting going on there.
I don't think it. I think it's just another dead.
Yep.
Nothing to it. Nothing coin.
This next one was kind of interesting. White label crypto.
Yeah, brought to us by our friends over at Monetary Unit.
Right. So it looks like it's a token stored on their chain. So kind of
Yeah.
like how people do with Ethereum or NXT, right?
It seems like they're trying to expand the MUE chain. I think it's cool. It's a good way to like potentially bring that chain up into competition with some of the newer blockchains. I'm not totally sure what the actual value of the token is for the user or anything at this point, but I like the idea of them going in this direction with the Monetary Unit chain.
Well, you create your own, is what it says.
Yeah, but usually when people release stuff like that, just nothing ever gets created, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll see. It's interesting. That's why I wasn't quite sure. So this isn't actually... what I guess I'm not understanding is white label crypto, are they just announcing the capability of people to make these tokens, or is there actually one available?
Oh, is there a token called White Label? That's a
Yeah.
good question. I don't know.
Okay, me neither. Then SuperPepe.
We talked about
Which we talked
SuperPepe,
about.
obviously.
And then this next one's kind of interesting, from some Ethereum-related people.
Slock.
Slock it.
I think this post was another re-announcement as well, or this guy is just hyping it for him. I think it's a little older, but
Yeah.
it seems like, again, going back to this notion earlier of how there's all these new, like some of these new blockchain services are so legit looking, like you can't tell what's legit and what's fake. I think Slock falls into that. They've got some really cool, like the website is really awesome. They've got some cool media, showcasing some cool stuff, like the idea of essentially using cryptography to secure, like potentially like things in your house, like your doors and stuff, like validate that through a blockchain and then your doors unlock. Or you could potentially, you could see how that could be applied to like anything that you want to secure in your life.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
So,
If everything in it that they talk about works fine, I think it just could be something really nice, simple, everyday life.
yeah, so it's again blockchain 2. It's like blockchain 2.0 is here now, and there's all this crazy stuff. We'll never know, until it actually blows up in our face. We won't know if it's legit or not, which is always the fun part. But
Yeah.
I think Slock. I am really happy I checked that one out.
Yeah, it'd be a good one to get in contact with somebody to tell us more about it. Then CreditCoin was launched. Oh, never mind.
But delete.
Deleted. That means it was probably really good.
CreditCoin's gone already? Oh, it was here just a couple hours ago, and I was looking at it. That's funny. Well, it's like the 20th coin with the name Credit in the title.
Yeah. This next one got listed on Yobit. Was one of the chosen ones. This week.
Revenue is the currency we're talking about. Revenue. Right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
One of the ones that it got launched with a bunch of attention and stuff too. Yobit right away. It's got such cool right away. Makes me think there's something going on here, but it also has one of my least favorite things, which is a picture of a phone with the photoshopped coin, wallet or logo in it. Like, oh
Yeah.
wow, the fake, all that stuff.
They also have that nice graphic with just the empty boxes. 5 steps.
Revenue. So I didn't get any revenue yet. I'm
Me
not.
neither.
It's a little too slick for me. Too slick by half, as they say.
Let's see.
Did you get in on revenue, CryptoWorld?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Just realized what this was. And not sure I want to invest in something like advertising platform like that.
It's going to be one of those coins, if it does go up, I feel like I'm never going to have a chance to get in, because I'm always going to be expecting it to drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This next one is a EUK token, EUK coin.
UK fighting for a decentralized UK.
And you see, this one, to me, like, just have to look at the stats of it, basically, because at least they aren't making any outrageous claims. It's just kind of a blockchain to, you know...
A lot of people saying it's wallet builders. Do you think that's fine, or?
I don't think it's a deal breaker necessarily, but
To me, it says like I'm worried about like once that wallet builders, like once the node cancels or whatever, if anything happens with the blockchain. If these guys had to go to wallet builders to get it, are they going to be able to actually maintain that blockchain?
well, yeah.
Real way.
And I would have, I guess, like, I would never, like, from my financial perspective, I'm just talking, you throw a few dollars in, literally, if anything. And not that I did, even on this one. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever hold myself back from that type of shit. When it comes to, like, coins, I don't particularly like the stats on this coin. They don't stand out to me. But, you know, on a super coin that I don't relate to or whatever, that has good stats, I still mine that stuff all the time.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, good stats are good stats, but this one a little too. It's not. I'm not feeling this one either.
Yeah.
Not a lot for me to like this week.
No. Same thing. Let's see. Actually, this one has 5 pages at least at this point. But
Which one?
Pulse. Pulse up next,
Pulse
and they aren't launched yet.
officially
So-
launched at 312 is what the OP says.
Oh shoot,
Did it just launch? Maybe it just launched.
maybe.
How about NeoScript for the algo things? Oh, this one had a lot of fancy graphics, I recall. Built to the latest Bitcoin technology. A lot of good graphics. SHA, I was like that because I can mine it with my miner, but we'll see.
Interesting.
I haven't really had time to check out the ones that came out today.
Yeah, they all came out pretty recently. Anarchists Antilitecoin.
I saw this one when it came out and was immediately, like what a.
It was also listed, right?
Yeah, I got to Yobit
Yeah.
right away. Boom, rum on Yobit. It's. I just once again I can't say anything really to like.
Nope. It's hard to find things to like with those, but you know.
Calling all anarchist bounty hunters.
The next one was Trash and Burn, and I think this one actually is free coins, so you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, airdrop. Yeah, airdrop is great. You know, Antichrist, Anti-Litecoin, or whatever they have, went with an airdrop. I think that would be a lot more of an interesting coin. So Trash and Burn, that's okay.
But the deal is you have to put like the thing Trash and Burn under your face on the form like he has there. I guess it's called your personal text. It's not your signature.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I haven't got around to it yet. We'll see. Do I want
Campaign
those free coins
distribution.
bad enough?
Yeah, campaign distributions are okay. It's a little more annoying than just an airdrop, but they can be worth it. I
And
did
then-
one for Yellow Coin. I remember that was like the first one I'd ever did.
Really?
Yellow Coin. Remember after Black Coin and they came out with like every color of coin. White coin.
Oh yeah.
Yellow Coin. Pink coin. So the
I
Yellow
think that's
Coin.
kind of how Orange Coin came about. Or I mean, Lemon Coin, because
Oh.
they went down the colors back to orange, and then it's
Yeah.
kind of like that phone game. When somebody says orange, it just goes to lemon, even
Yeah.
though it's not a color.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
It's like Lime Coin.
On and on.
There's a bunch of coins listed on several exchanges this week.
Yeah, we see the exchanges are really stepping up what they're doing in terms of trying to catch this Ethereum wave. C-Cex Pepe listed right away. We kind of talked about that earlier. You don't sometimes you'll see C-Cex just add coins early, but you really don't see them add coins just right away like this. So it seems like it was kind of orchestrated in that way. But
Right.
we'll see how it plays out.
And then Eclipse, that was a coin that was launched the first week of the show.
Yeah, I know you mined a little bit of those. Had you sold them already?
No, I still got them.
Nice.
I managed to stake that one block. Remember, that was my claim to fame on that one. But then I kind of just closed the wallet.
And yeah, they lie, probably.
Andromeda was listed on C-Cex as well.
Andromeda, that was another one that came out a couple weeks ago. I didn't...
Yep, it's on the first week.
Just so many coins coming out these days, you can't even keep up with all of them. I'm not sure what the market cap is on that. I think it's doing okay.
Yep, would have been a hard one to guess that would have been listed, though. Unobtainium, which is an older coin.
Uno, the classic Uno.
Yeah.
The same one, now it's on C-Cex. They must... Maybe they're just trying to kind of broaden their coin base.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's... Or I guess it was mainly traded on Cryptsy, so maybe they're trying to pick up some refugees.
Oh.
That could be it, but... Yeah, Unobtainium, I'm not a big fan usually of just any old coin. But sometimes they pull something like Vertcoin and just go crazy, so that can definitely happen.
Just a matter of knowing where you're at kind of in the market. If you manage to be able to pick the spot to buy in, could be good.
Yeah, but I don't, it's not one that I would buy and hold. If you're like watching the Unobtainium market and you see that looks like it's really approaching something, it might be okay to like, hold for a week or two to see what
Right.
happens. But
Yeah. I agree on that.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah. Stress Coin was also listed there.
I don't remember that one.
I don't know much about it, but it's
Stress.
listed there.
Have you heard about StressCoin, CryptoWorld?
Not at all.
Just
Looks
some-
like I missed a lot of coins last week.
You
There's
can't.
just so many.
You can't possibly keep up with them all. That's the funny thing about coins right now.
Yeah. Safecex.
Safe, however you want to say it.
Great
Yeah,
name for
I
an
like the
exchange out
Safecex
there.
interpretation. Yeah, really, really gives you a lot of comfort as far as their security levels.
They listed Trump,
They had Trump coin.
Cygnus,
I don't like the Trump listing. I don't like Trump coin.
Shark,
Shark coin. Con coin. That's super.
Crown.
Con coin is one of those super scammy type coins, kind of like Incrementum, isn't it? That one that's been on C-Cex, just kind of high.
Con
volume.
is one that I think it is one that's always on C-Cex with the high volume.
It's just always got a high volume, high price. It's like 99.9% owned by somebody.
Yeah.
But there it is. Cygnus, I sold almost all my Cygnus. Just kind of it doesn't look like it's going the distance. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Trump, like I said, I think it has a bad code base. I'm not impressed by it.
Really.
Crown. Do you know anything about that?
Nope.
Credit Bit on Bittrex.
Bittrex managed to list another one. They're like coming out of hibernation with CreditBit.
Credit Bit. That doesn't. Did that come out recently?
I don't know, man. CreditBit community, reach out to us. Tell us what it is.
Credit
With
Bit.
all these coins, it's like, without knowing about them, it's really hard to want to get involved.
Yobit is from November 4th.
November 4th. So a little bit older, not too old. I was kind of joking about that coin with the credit in the name earlier, CreditCoin. There have been so many coins that come out with the name credit in them that I can't.
Right. Yeah, how would you keep track?
In a world where there's 10 altcoins coming out a week, you don't want to be the second or third one with the name credit in the title. But they're there on Bittrex, so, maybe they've got something going on. Hard for me to tell.
And on Cryptopia, Cbit was listed.
Yeah, we talked about that a bit earlier with the Cbit dev. Honestly, a higher price than I was expecting for this. 140 Bitcoin market cap at the bid right now. There's not much support, so that's not like
Not a guarantee, but
that's not a solid number by any means, but it's a good start for them, so I'm happy to see them at that price point.
And then Yobit just listed a ton of coins. Leaf Coin, Jewel Coin,
Incrementum.
VIP.
Leaf Coin, is that the same as like the really old Leaf Coin?
Yep, same. Very same.
That one was on Litoshi forever. I wonder if it's even tradable on Yobit. It's
I don't know,
ridiculous.
Yobit has been listing things that should be on Litoshi markets. I think we talked about that
Yeah,
one.
that's weird. So that's funny. Leaf Coin is a really early coin that I lost money trading on. I thought it was it got listed on Cryptsy and it was trading on Coin Market. So I was like, oh, I'm going to buy on Coin Market and sell on Cryptsy. I'm going to be so smart. But it was they were obviously a step ahead of me. That was the peak of the price was the point that I bought.
Euro Coin, Coffee Coin, Burn Cash.
Burn Cash, the counterpart to Trump Coin, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but
Hodl.
go burning. I
Hodl.
guess.
Hodl coin.
Hold. Yeah, how do you say that? You're
I don't
supposed to
know.
say it.
You
Hold?
never would say it.
Yeah, I guess it's just not meant to be said. So I don't think having a.
But
coin...
that coin has a lot of troll people on like every exchange. Have you ever noticed that?
No, I haven't noticed that. That's funny.
Yeah.
I guess it's a classic crypto meme, so maybe it's getting some traction.
Yeah. And then Hemp Coin was listed on Yobit too, and that's the HMP Hemp Coin, not to be confused with the other Hemp Coin, which is THC.
Oh,
on
Hemp Coin name
Bittrex.
THC. Oh wow. Whew.
Yeah.
So man, getting back to this name ambiguity theme earlier with CreditCoin, like these people are just firing off coins. Like, I feel like you have to be a little more inventive with the names. Just, I mean, in this market, people aren't.
Might as well be.
Yeah. You need to stand out. There's so many coins in the market right now. You can't just be THC coin, Hemp Coin number 38.
Also listed was Neva Coin.
Neva Coin, that was the coin that this guy did as a tribute for his daughter or whatever, so I'm happy to see that.
No, it's for his girlfriend.
Oh, this was for his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Bella Coin was the one for the
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to see that one get listed,
Yeah, so
honestly.
good-
And
good
if you
for
look
them.
at the thread, there's like people are just posting in it, and it's like the longest thread from that week practically.
Neva Coin was the coin with legs. We made fun of it a little bit, but apparently it's always fun to see what sticks around. I would not have guessed this one, that's for sure.
Paypeer was listed.
Papier? That
Yeah.
sounds really scary.
Unfed, which was also announced this week, so that's a pretty quick
We
listing.
talked about Unfed earlier, and it's
Revenue.
it's okay. Revenue, it's okay.
And that Antilitecoin.
And I don't feel, whatever. We'll see how they do. The market will, I guess, the market will tell us what's happening. But again, how many coins is that for Yobit? That's like over 10 coins listed for Yobit, and most of them in the past couple days.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then birthdays for the last week. There was no 1-year anniversaries.
Really? I remember you mentioned that Phalanx was launched. We talked about that a bit last week. That one came out like right after I got an SHA miner, and I just mined a bunch for a long time, and it ended up having like a 2-day pump on C-Cex for like no apparent reason.
And it's still actually on Yobit.
It's still on Yobit, gone from C-Cex, of course.
But I doubt that
blockchain
it
and
works.
shares,
Yeah.
long gone. But Phalanx, good memories for me on that one.
But there are some 2-year birthdays, both on March 6th. Hemp Coin
And there
was
it is. Hemp
launched,
Coin.
the THC one on Bittrex, not to be confused with the one.
Yeah, the
that's
2-year anniversary of Hemp Coin is celebrated with the launch of another coin called Hemp Coin.
Weird, right?
So happy, yeah. I guess if they're still around, they're still trading on Bittrex. That's good for them.
That's a really good exchange to be on 2 years in.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then Faircoin was also launched. This was one of those airdrop faucet style
Really?
ones. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's 2 years ago. Faircoin already came out with a faucet. Huh? Oh, it was faucet based. That's before they had like the in wallet based distribution, right?
I think it was an in-wallet one.
Was it? Oh,
I
cool.
could be remembering it wrong, though.
I think it might have had like a faucet that all the coins. I don't remember on that one. But either way, 2 years still on Bittrex for them too.
Yeah.
Did it get a pump? I think it got a pump at some point.
I think it did near the beginning more so than... I honestly don't know how that market is. But I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday, you know?
Yeah, totally. I was like, yeah, exactly. It's so fun to see the coins that stick around. Obviously, when you look at the launches, you'll see like there's 15 coins at launch. You look at the birthdays, there's 1 or 2 at best. So you got to think of there's so many coins that launched this week, and the only ones that survived, Hemp Coin, Faircoin. So obviously they must be doing something right.
So the crypto world, tell us about your website a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So, in quick words, my website's all about cryptos, about new coins. Coins I'm following, there's some advice for people who just start on Ubuntu to help them compile CC miners, any Qt wallet, or anything else.
Nice,
So
that's useful.
quite a general website, a lot of info on cryptocurrencies.
Nice, yeah, and you do some mining yourself.
Yep, that's exact. I run a mining mine with about near 100 GPU. So that's one of my favorite. It will be to just see my miners mine like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be awesome just to see that many miners right out there. I get excited when, the most miners I think I've ever had running at once was like 3 or 4, and I was like, oh, this is incredible. So it's got to be so fun to be running an operation at that scale. And it's cool to see that it's even still worth keeping your GPUs on. There was a point where I might not have even predicted that GPU miners would even want to be running their GPUs at this point.
yeah, but right here I pay like 5 cents US per kilowatt or so.
That helps. That definitely helps.
That's almost free. So that's quite hard to be on the profitability level. So
Nice.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
Do you tend to use like rent them out, or do you try to be really hands-on with it, or what's your strategy like?
depends on the moment, I would say. When I get a lot of exams at schools, because I'm at the university.
Mhm.
And when I get a lot of exams, I just don't have time to check it, so I rent my stuff to people around. But when I get the times, I love to mine, so that's why I'm not following a lot of POS. I follow POS coins.
Yeah.
Like Warp was the first one, I think,
Mhm.
really followed. That's quite nice to just see your stuff mined and everyone around just get to see your name at the top of supernova. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's always a great
Yeah.
feeling. And I agree with you. Like, I agree with you that it's, I tend to mostly pay attention to coins that have a lot of mining as well, just because I think that's kind of, I prefer to get coins by mining, I guess, than just buying outright on the exchange. Maybe that's because I got started in mining, but I just kind of, it's a lot of fun for me.
that's an awesome feeling. You should try.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's about it.
Yep, I think that's all we had lined up for you guys this week. We want to thank all of our guests. It was great having on the developer, founder of Cbit, William Martins. We had from Augur, Joey from Augur, on to explain really cool stuff about their prediction markets. And then from Safe Exchange Coin, we had Daniel, who obviously he had a lot of great stuff to say about that.
Yeah. Super excited and inspired about that one.
And also want to thank, of course, our special guest for this episode, TheCryptoWorld. Obviously,
Thanks for the invites, guys.
yeah, check out his website, thecryptoworld.org. It's really cool, really useful stuff on there. Especially as somebody who's just getting started with Linux and stuff, those guides are definitely very useful.
Yeah, and so this was Blockchain Dynamics number 3. You're listening to Error by Trial Radio, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, this is Brandon Doge and Jukely, and I want to thank everyone for listening, and have a great week.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.